Okay. What you need to know about financial aid and scholarships. We talked about the cost of attendance, what financial aid is. We talked about expected family contributions, the category sources, FAFSA. If they are, the same thing what we've already talked, then I'll just quickly I won't spend too much time. But these are funds for scholarships, grants, loan. I'm kind of repeating this in some ways because sometimes one forgets. This tends to be fairly overwhelming. Okay, these are the scholarships, grants, loans, and work studies. These are your 4 instruments. Scholarships are your best option. Those are the best buddies. Everything else is based on, financial income and stuff of the family. Cost of attendance includes tuition. This is what it is. Direct versus indirect cost we talked about. Cost of attendance varies a lot from college to college. For example, a community college cost of attendance could be $5,000. State school, the cost of attendance could be more like $15,000 to $18,000. State university, which is a 4-year program like a UC, could be $35,000, $38,000 a year. A private school like Santa Clara University could be more like $55,000. A private school like Harvard, which is like a top of the line, could be $70,000 a year, and they won't give you any scholarship. Santa Clara will be 55, 58, and they'll give you a scholarship. So it's not unplausible, or it's not impractical to think of a private school which actually might come in cheaper than a public school to you. Okay, and in a private school you have lesser students, lesser professor, or more quality professors, smaller classroom sizes. So investigate the departments of the schools that you're looking at. Every school doesn't have every sharp departments. No low schools have all bad departments. So some are good, some are bad. This is the place where parents come with the student to really work this as a partnership. Okay. We talked about the EFC, which is a parental contribution and student contribution. Okay, most of it is parental. Student can have like 529s, which is student contribution, or UTMA. We'll talk about that. Financial need is cost of attendance minus EFC. We talked about that. Varies based on cost of the school. So sometimes, one thing can be bigger, the other time something can be bigger. So you have to just know where you can get them from. These are the sources of financial aid. Pell Grants we talked about. We talked about the work study program, which is what's out there. So this actually gives you the rates as well. So federal direct loans, freshman annual loan limit is $5,500, goes up to $6,000 second year, and then $6,500 third year. So this is kind of the interest rate you're paying. But the good thing is the student is not paying any interest in the first 4 years. Okay, the federal government is subsidizing it for them. Okay. Parent plus loans are more expensive, and they are on the parent's credit history, which means if the student drops out or the student doesn't want to pay for it, you're on the hook to pay for that stuff. Some scholarships are gift aid, which become grants. So know this thing, okay? So if you know you're going to get financial aid, like your parents are not earning that kind of money, and you're going to get financial aid, you might not want to do scholarships. Whereas if you're already over the 160, 180K income limit, then you might as well, for your full family, you might as well start looking at scholarships, because that's the only way that's going to help you. Okay. Institution, there are multiple applicants. So institutions is basically your colleges. Okay. Is it a renewable? Many times an institution, your college will give you a scholarship only for the first year. Don't take it for granted you're going to get it for the next 3 years as well. And just because you got a scholarship of say $5,000 in the first year doesn't mean you can't get another $10,000 in the second year. Go back to the financial aid office, be friends with them. I actually have a buddy of mine. He hasn't been working for like a few years. He's been messed up in his career from that standpoint. But his daughter is actually getting his, the college. His daughter goes to a public university, very well esteemed public university. Okay. The school actually gives him surplus. So it's because he's not been working for a few years. So his income, even though he has an asset of a home and stuff, the school actually gives him money per month to run their own home. So you can get those situations as well. You have to get creative about figuring it out. This slide I should have started in some way with. Paying for college, we talked about the 4 things. Need-based. This I liked a lot. This actually gives you a comparison between. Now this data is a little old, so put like 30% on top, like kind of just like a 2 years community college commuter. Commuter cost will be cheaper. This is the cost of tuition. This is the cost. Tuition is $3,700, very cheap. If you're just commuting, then your cost could be very low, like $5,000 for a community college. Okay. If you're going for in-state, on campus, if you're just going to commute, you can make it really cheap, right? It's 10,000 for this is more like a CSU kind of a thing, but this is more like a UC. So you can see how the cost changes. And like I said, I add about 15, 20 to 30% on top of these numbers because this slide is actually very old. Okay. We talked about the different scholarships. So this is some more details about them. Need-based, merit-based. So know these terms fairly well, okay? Grants and scholarships are free money. Loans, you're going to pay it back somewhere, okay? Work study, you are earning, but then it's pretty hard to do this. Grants versus scholarships. Grants are given for specific purposes. This is typically given only for education. The grant can be on everything. Scholarships are typically only going to pay for your education. This is based on need. This can be, scholarships are based on merit as well. The achievement scholarships take into consideration achievements, whereas grants are only for financial aid for the family. There's a question. Are grants easier to get than a scholarship? It depends. If your financial situation, if your household income is anything less than $150,000, then you're definitely a candidate for a grant. If you're making anything over 200K as a full family, it's not. I mean, they're not going to give you any. They're not going to cut you any no grants for you. Okay. This again, you can read more details. Or this actually was interesting. Order of acceptance, accepted aids. I'll just let you guys read what this is. This is, if there's one slide, remember, this is this slide. If this is any of the schools you're trying to apply to, is showing up in this list, please, please, please consider not even going to these stupid schools. Okay. Wellesley, by the way, is in the schools list over here. Where's Wellesley? Well, yeah, right here. I should have seen this before sending my daughter over here. What this means is these schools will give you jack. Okay. No merit scholarships. And all the good schools are even over here. There should be Stanford, should be over here. Like you can see all the names of schools: Vassar, MIT, UPenn, Bryn Mawr, Trinity. These are like the top of the line schools. Okay, Harvard, Stanford, they're all there. Baldwin, Swarthmore. These are like Juilliard. If you get into these schools, you are awesome. But there is nothing. So if they tell you that this is the list price of school, be ready to pay that money. Okay. So remember this list. It's a very important list. These are some of the schools which give you the best aid. Okay, most generous financial aid comes from these schools. So look at these schools, and these are like public universities. Most of them. I know Greenlaw is not private public. This is not private public, but they do have very good grants. Okay, financial aid, generous financial aid, and you can see the merit grants as well. So they'll give you everything together. Good schools over here. Okay. Rice, Vanderbilt, I actually tell everybody to look at these schools. These are very good schools. Harvey Mudd is the top of the line school here in the West Coast. But yeah, look at these lists. These are in California, some of the schools which have very good merit scholarships, like Chapman is in LA, really good school, good amount of scholarships. Pepperdine has 300 scholarships in LA. University of Pacific is right here in the Bay Area, very good school. USC, down, awesome school, okay? 450 scholarships. So these are good schools, good scholarships. Apply to these schools, you will get some of these. Like Santa Clara University was not even over here. I know they give very good. This is just in the West Coast, and I've got Baylor over here, which is a very good school. Trinity University is a very good school. University of Portland, awesome school. Willamette, I've been to there personally, very good school. Puget Sound, top of the line, like really, I love the school. Private school. UWash. UWash does give scholarships, although I know somebody who did not get any scholarship there. This is Gonzaga. I've been hearing about it. I don't know much about it. U Colorado is a very good school. Boulder is a top of the line school, really good schools. This is, I like this chart, which explained based on your assets, wherever you stand, this is your EFC. And this is, I mean, income has a much bigger impact than assets. And in fact, there is a slide I have in my deck here, which talks about, which one was this? Was it here? No, not this. This is a premium. Science Gurus, college admissions. There is in the financial planning section, you will see one of my, this image here. This I found last night. look at what gets involved in the calculations for the financial aid. Okay, parental assets only, so retirement does not count. Okay, income counts from 22 to 47%. Okay, in the FAFSA. If the student is making income, that will also count towards it. Reported assets of the student, like UTMAs and stuff, they will come over here. Okay, we'll talk more about Coverdale's assets. So 529 Coverdale, both are assets of the parent, not of the child. Okay, so they count towards 2.6, not 20%, which is over here. Just to know. But this, I felt this was a very good screenshot. So remember this, that your income counts towards parental income is the lion's share of what's involved. Where was I? Okay. Public schools, top public schools, in California, these are some very good schools. So, you see that damn good, guys. So University of Arizona, Utah, these are very good schools. So look at them. I had something, I don't know why I put this over here, but this some of the schools which I had put together for a student, which were average rated schools. They don't get very good rating, but they have damn good CS programs like Santa Clara University, Loyola, Occidental, Pepperdine. These are like University of San Diego is a private university, very good school, but I don't even know why I'm talking about that today here. Scholarship application tips. Make the time to do it. Really understand essays. The sooner you can do this, the less stressful senior year is going to be for you. Okay, have somebody edit your stuff, okay, for grammar, and I can do it. I'm happy to help anybody out who needs help here. Consider who you know. So make sure you don't just go to scholarship.com, but your own workplace might have a scholarship for just the employees, for their children. Everything adds up. Okay, ask your college. If you're going to a college, ask them. They will tell you about some very good ones, okay, financially, which is what I was telling you. This friend of mine who's actually getting paid now, like, not only does he have to not pay for college, he's actually getting paid from the school to even run his own house. He went to the financial aid office multiple times, and he literally made best friends with the financial aid people. So this is important. Do this after the admission is done, okay? These are some scholarship good resources. Gates Foundation also has some good scholarships, foundation centers. You can look at this thing, okay? This actually was a good one. Writing a scholarship essay versus a college app essay. Look at this link. It's a good one which explains in details what's what. Then let's talk about filling the gaps. These are the actual scholarships. We're going to talk about filling the gap with the scholarships. How much time? We have 7 minutes left. Okay. Scholarships, we talked about what kind of scholarships are out there. Merit-based and need-based scholarships. Academic and athletic, we talked about this based on intended. This is the lion's share, but you still get athletic. So even if your child has been doing soccer for a long time, they don't have to be a Mia Hamm. Okay, they are available to even people who don't want to make a career, but just because they enjoy the game. That's called Division 3 schools, Division 2 schools. They'll give you scholarships. Okay, by grade level you can have, by state, by type, the scholarships. By grade, it is targeted. So you actually have many scholarships for 10th graders, 11th graders too. And I talk about those in my links in the classroom, what you can do at different levels. Okay? States have their own, like California is not very generous with their scholarships. I mean, they have some things, but like you look at Utah, Wyoming, and some of these states, they actually have very good scholarships that nobody knows really about. So look at those. Okay, disability scholarships, there are many of those. Community service-based scholarships. Ethnic background based, if you think you're from some minority, if you have disabilities in the family, you can get some of those. And these are quite a bit, medical disabilities ones. Where to apply, best time to apply is now. I love this one best, there's never a good time, there's always a now time. And this looking for this thing, searching for, just don't eat up your students, your children's heads on these things. This is stuff the parents should be able to do. Okay, I'm a believer, if I can't do it and I find it a pain in the ass, my child will find it 10 times harder. So if I do it, they feel appreciated, I'm being a part of their team, and I do this work for my children. Okay, this is just, it tells you that most deadlines are between February and April. So this is a good time when the student is not overly stressed out with the winter vacation. Start looking at some of these, and figure out and fill them out, and just work with the child, fill it out for them if you can. It pays off. Navigate the process. We talked about this, apply to these things. Then this is the last one. Okay, so what's the biggest point of this whole presentation? We're talking about affordability versus excessive borrowing. You don't want to just go out of your means. This is your biggest investment. Determine if the college is really right for you. What does that mean? Look at the expected outcomes, or look at some of the financials of the students who drop out, students who stay in the school for more than 4 years, like 6 years, and what kind of money they made after going out. That's when you think on those terms and determine if a school, a college, a type of college, a place, a major is good for you or not. Okay. Student debt loan is through the roof. It's just going up. Delinquencies are massive. So chances are, if your child has taken a loan and is delinquent, that thing's going to show up on your paycheck somewhere. So make sure that you only borrow what you can manage with your child. You can help them out if they need, but try to make them pay for it. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, they're not going to pay for our retirements. So I'm very clear about that. Basics of a loan: no fixed versus floating loans, and you need to know everything about this process. Federal loans are fixed. Your personal loans tend to be, or private loans tend to be variable based on the the Fed or whatever that rate is, the zero rate that is there. You could use line of credits towards this. I don't recommend doing that, even though one believes that, yeah, I'll take a line of credit on my house and use the pre-tax money. If you get audited, that could be trouble. And plus, you don't want to do that. When you're taking line of credit, effectively you're saying you don't have the money and somebody's going to pay for it. Okay. So you're better off not letting that one investment of your life, your house, be responsible for paying the school or the college fee. Different between private loans and student loans. Like say, interest loans are private, federal loans are fixed, they're much cheaper. Undergraduate borrowers who demonstrate need could receive a loan regardless of credit history or anything. Private loans are never subsidized, meaning you're paying all the interest. Okay. Federal loan, for government does have a forgiveness plan. Private loans do almost never have forgiveness plan. You cannot even get away with a private loan for bankruptcy. If you file bankruptcy, you're still on the hook to pay off these loans. So these don't, I think death is the only thing you can get away with, but this is crazy stuff. So please really think about private loans before you ever take it. Know that grants and scholarships are gifts, so plan for those. Pell Grants and talked about these, the different types of loans. This was a good slide again. Okay, you can see the cost difference. Okay, between, and you can see the rates kept going up as well with time. So rates do go up, but these are the kind of rates for 2018, 2019. Every year the rates that they changed. Parent loans from these are Parent Plus loans. Don't like it, but you can get them, and they're not based on financial need. Okay, and I don't even think credit history matters here, which is why a lot of parents end up taking this, but please be very careful about this one. Stafford loan, I don't know much about it, but I've put in some details over here. You might be eligible for it based on your financial need. Subsidized versus unsubsidized, which I talked about, knowing the difference. FAFSA, which is where you start from, your process, and that's it. So I'm pretty much done with my deck.